Today we're going to talk about why you can't seem to remember anything you've read about, or any facts or interesting things that you've harvested from books. And also today I want to give you a very powerful reframe and a very powerful insight that's going to take your note-taking to the next level and also in turn help you remember everything you've read from books. So here's the quick conclusion most people jump to. I have memory issues. I'm not smart enough. I can't accumulate that many facts in my brain. Well, just like in the last video, how we said, most of your reading problems have nothing to do with your intelligence. And in this case, not remembering things that you've read about has nothing to do with your ability to memorize things. And the real reason why we can't seem to remember anything we've read is that we're too concerned with transcribing information instead of actually reading for understanding. For example, when you go through a book, you're probably underlining things. You're probably got your Kindle highlights, and you probably have a few sticky notes all over the place. But the problem with trying to transcribe or trying to copy down all the stuff that you've read wholesale is that you now just have a graveyard of information that doesn't really connect to anything. In Mortimer J. Adler's book, How to Read a Book, in the first chapter, in fact, he made this beautiful distinction between reading for information and reading for knowledge. The first sense, which is reading for information, is the one in which we speak of ourselves as reading newspapers, magazines, or anything else that, according to our skills and talents, is at once thoroughly intelligible to us. Such things may increase our store of information, but they cannot improve our understanding, for our understanding was equal to than before we started, whereas reading for knowledge is the one in which a person tries to read something that at first he does not completely understand. In other words, understanding presumes that the thing that you're about to read is going to be a little bit more difficult. If you can see a fact that is already intelligible to you and you write down that fact, you're merely storing more information. And this kind of information, despite the fact that you've copied it down 5 times in a note page, are really hard for you to memorize. And it's really hard to remember these pieces of information because you already implicitly understand it. There's no challenge there. Whereas if you want to truly internalize an idea, a concept, or a way of viewing the world, it usually comes from wrestling with that idea to reach new ideas that shift your entire perspective about reality. And to come back to this week's topic, how do we remember everything we've read through note-taking? Well, the point of note-taking, or remembering things that you've read, it's not about documenting or just capturing what you've read, but it's all about documenting the changes that had happened to you after you've read a certain passage, or the parts of your brain that started thinking differently after you've wrestled with an idea for long enough. This is the key distinction between reading for information and reading for knowledge, and your notes, and of course what you're going to remember, should reflect these encounters with ideas, instead of just merely transcribing the content. And here's a very powerful technique to help you capture these shifts in your thinking called Fieldnotes. The concept behind Fieldnotes is very simple. So next time when you read a book, aim to capture your real-time reaction. Not summaries of what you've read, capture your real-time reaction after you've wrestled with a very difficult idea or after you've wrestled with a big chunk of a novel. Write down your conclusions in your words, reflecting the changes in your mind. And these notes, unlike transcriptions that you normally take in high school and college classes, and unlike the pages, long pages of notes that you've never ever reviewed, these notes will transport you back to that moment of discovery so that whenever you encounter this piece of note, your memory is reactivated. And this time, since you've been reading for understanding, it doesn't just trigger a fact, it also triggers a new way of thinking that the book had inspired. A very useful analogy is when scientists, especially chemists, I had a STEM background, and every time when we headed into the lab, we had one of those IKEA pencils and we had a little notebook, and our science teacher basically told us, don't capture everything, just capture the moments when something made sense to you during the experiment, so that when you review these notes, it would take you back in your mind's eye, back into the lab, so you can replicate that experiment in your mind as you're writing your report. The same concept applies here. What you should have are paper trails that will take you back to these major revelations in a book. And remembering what you've read in this case becomes quite effortless because all your notes are very personal. They relate to everything you've experienced in your life, and you can quickly connect something that you've learned to an event in your life and to all the changes that was inspired by some of the books that you've read. And if you want a template and a system to document these field notes, I've developed a Notion template it for this very reason. So if you're interested, check it out in the description down below. There's a video tutorial on how to use it. It's one of our best-selling products, and I think you'll get a lot out of it if you agree with this approach. So before we go here, here's a practical exercise that you can do to improve your understanding as well as improve the way that you would remember some of the stuff after you've read it. Pick one difficult paragraph from your current book and then write down 3 sentences after you've read this paragraph. What confused you? What did it collide with in your mind? And what shifted in your mind after you've read it? Remember, don't merely summarize what you've read. React to what you've read and supplement your own life experience into your notes. And to start, do this for a single paragraph just to see how it feels. And over time, you can apply this to multiple pages of a book. Sometimes when you get really good, you can apply this method to an entire chapter of a book. As long as you remember is that field notes are not here to document everything. They're all about deepening understanding so that these notes will serve as reminders to strengthen those connections that you've made after a major insight or after a major revelation. And remember, reading books is not merely about transactions that inform us. It's not about accumulating interesting facts, but it's all about encounters that actually transform us into better people. And that, I believe, is one of the major joys or one of the main motives that I have to do these kind of videos every single week, is to get you guys closer to these miraculous moments of transformation. Anyway, that's all I have for this week's video. Maybe I'll see you guys here next week or the week after. I'm really trying to put more effort into these videos, and I'm really trying to spend more time on every one of the videos to make sure they are jam-packed with exercises and information in order to help you become a formidable reader in our distracted world. Rob Walden here. See you next time. Take care and goodbye.